We're going to get into it tonight. Yes, we are. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. We're going to dive right into it. We're not going to delay. I'm going to share with you what I saw. So I saw today a butterfly. Actually, I saw two butterflies. And these butterflies were colorful. I tried to get a picture of one, but it kept landing. It kept flying around and landing, and I didn't actually get a picture of it. However, I hope I got a picture of it. Then I saw a bunny rabbit earlier as I was doing a live on, I think it was Facebook, talking about the kingdom marriage, the marriage covenant season, summertime. I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. And I think it was a couple of days ago, I saw two baby deer playing in the middle of the street, and I was like, get out the street. I do not want to see any animals being hit or struck by a car or any type of vehicle. Absolutely not. Thank goodness they got out the street. They got out the street quickly, you know? So we're going to talk about the symbols and get into that more tonight. I saw four-digit numbers, the same number, like I saw 888. Wait a minute, 8888. I saw four eights somewhere on something. I saw four sevens. I saw 7777. I saw 2222. And I saw 3333 many times. I think I see that almost every day. Woo! And I had looked up 7777 to find out what that meant in Hebrew, just to check it out, because I know seven has to do with covenant, seven has to do with a lot. There's so many different words for the seven. And I looked it up and I found that 7777, actually it said marriage covenant. I'm going to find it so I can try to post it here somewhere on the YouTube community so you can see it for yourself. And I've been hearing songs, love songs, random songs popping up. Songs I haven't heard in a long time. And when you actually listen to the lyrics, I'm so ecstatic about this. It actually relates to something going on right now as it pertains to that kingdom marriage or that marriage covenant or that reconciliation coming forth with the spouses that are returning, the kingdom spouses that are returning, and those that are already together. They've already become one. Whether it's been 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50, 60, 70, 80, how many years it's been, it really doesn't matter, because the two become one, and I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine, and the two are better than one. So I've been seeing the number 1212. Like constantly, I've been seeing ones and twos and 1212 or 2121. And I've also been seeing threes. I've been seeing a lot of threes lately. So 3 is a number that has to do with something pertaining to the kingdom marriage covenant. So if you're seeing numbers, if you're seeing names, if you're seeing words, whatever you're seeing, be sure that you write it down. Don't forget what you saw. It could be very important. Maybe you have seen a date somewhere. A date popped up or a time. Write it down. It could be significant because we don't always understand it right then and there when we see it. But If we take our time and meditate on it and go deeper, we will discover that it means something of significance, because everything means something. Nothing is happening that is not important. Heck away from me. Thank you so much for joining in. And if you don't know, if this is your first time joining in, welcome. Thank you for coming in. This is definitely the Kingdom Marriage Season Marriage Covenant series, where we're talking about marriages. We're talking about the two becoming one. I am my beloved and my beloved is mine. Two are better than one. We're talking about restoration in marriages. We're talking about reconciliation. We're talking about it all. We're not leaving anything out. Anything that we hear or see, we can share here, so that we can glean together. If you've seen numbers or names, whatever it is, it matters. Everything matters. So don't ignore it. Write it down. Be sure to keep a pad or paper and pen or pencil or something, so that when you see something, you can write it down so you can reflect on it at a later time. And my name is Shifra Yahaved Yisrael, Shavui Tov. That means have a good and sweet week. In Hebrew, it actually means have a good week. I like to add the sweet in there because we're talking about that. We're talking about how that perfect, pure, divine, authentic love is so sweet. It's sweeter than honey. It's sweeter than fruit. It's sweeter than anything. And it is so incredible. It is so amazing. It's indescribable. There's no word to describe it, because when you are with that one who was sent from heaven by the ruler, by the maker, by the creator of all, woo! I'm telling you, life is incredible and amazing. It already is, but it makes life even sweeter. It makes life even better when you are with the one you are supposed to be with. So we're going to talk about that more. We're going to talk about the names. We're going to talk about numbers. We're going to talk about colors. We're going to talk about all of it. And if you have any comments, concerns, or questions, please put it in the comments. Email me. I thought I put my email in there, but anyway, it's in there somewhere. I'll attach it again so that you can have it, so that you can connect. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Connect. We want to come together and talk together. So the Hebrew word for sweet is motak. Motak, I think I'm saying it right. I'm not sure. I don't know the pronunciation of it, but I know it's spelled M-O-T-A-Q. So it's matak or matik, matak. But that's one of the words for sweet in Hebrew. And we know that in different languages, sweet means something different. Love means something different. In Hebrew, Ahavah is love, Ahavah. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to dig into it right now. And we're not going to belabor it. We're not going to run around the mulberry bush. We're going to get into it. We're going to hit the target. We're going to declare and decree, and then we're going to close out and come together again tomorrow. Now remember, the firm foundation or the beginning of everything is the marriage covenant between the husband and the wife, the mother and the father. Without them two coming together, there are no kingdom babies. There is no kingdom ministry. There is no kingdom entrepreneurship. Isn't it amazing how when two people come together, the husband and the wife, the mother and the father, Everything else seems to line up perfectly. So that's why we have it. That is our firm foundation, Ahava, which is love. And I'm going to give you some of what came to me. And you can share whatever it is that you have. Please feel free to share. Definitely your voice needs to be heard, or whatever is on your mind or on your heart. If you have a song, a song, whatever. If you have anything to share, your love story, whatever you like to share, please share. So what came to me today was, again, I was reflecting back on the other live, was prepare, plan, plant. That was the 3 P's. And then today I was going deeper, and what came to me was communicate, connect, and cuddle, which was interesting because the word cuddle never came to me before. So cuddle, it kind of reminds me of the king and the queen in the jungle, the lioness and the lion, how they sometimes cuddle, how they sometimes have their little, tug of war, but then they kind of like stroke each other, look like they're kissing each other or whatever. So the eagles mate for life, and that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be faithful, loyal, monogamous to one another. We're only supposed to be interested in our kingdom spouse, and that's it. No other relationship in this life is more important than that relationship. It is a true covenant, and it is unbreakable and unshakable. And it is for life, for a lifetime. We have to do our part, and we want peace, shalom, and unity. We need harmony in the household. And we must spend quality time together with our kingdom spouses and with our kingdom family, with our children as well. A wise woman builds up her house. She knows how to love and respect her husband and their children and everyone. She defends the orphans, the widows, the strangers, the imprisoned, and the oppressed, and she helps others with the right heart, the right mind, the right attitude, and the right spirit, and so on and so forth. Being righteous is very important. She is kind and she is generous. I will repeat that. Sorry, there was a motorcycle that went by or something. She is kind and she is generous. The husband is a noble man who treats his wife like a queen, and she treats her husband like a king. And it's important never to talk negatively about your kingdom husband or wife to other people. That's very important. We have to be loyal. We have to be respectful, even though sometimes there may be some times when we just feel like we want to scream. But we definitely need to take it to the maker, to the ruler, the creator of all, who is El Shaddai, and allow ourselves to be cleansed and purified and purged and pruned and go through the refiner's fire and come out as pure gold, so we can be blameless and without any residue or trace of spiritual contamination and all of that. We don't want any parts of that. That is not our portion. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, self-control, all of that is our portion and beyond. We're to be compassionate with our kingdom husbands or wives. And there may be times when all of us just need to tame our tongues. We need to be careful of the words that we speak, because words are like seeds in agriculture, and something will grow from those words. So you don't want to you don't want to sow anger and let it grow into a tree of anger or bitterness or any of that, or unforgiveness. So we have to be very mindful. We have to be intentional of how we relate to and talk to our kingdom spouses, because we don't know what they have been through. They might not share everything with us, but we have to appreciate them for who they are and see them through the eyes of the Maker, Adonai, who is the name above all names, Hashem. And I want to share with you before we close out, because we're not going to be long tonight. That's right. We're going to be under 30 minutes. We're not going an hour or 45 minutes or any of that, or over an hour. I would love to share with you that many are talking about how do you say it? It's a love holy day. Technically, it's one of the ones that people don't talk about much today, which they should. In history, our ancestors, they celebrated a love day, or they called it a holy love day or whatever. And they call it Av. And it is the 15th day of Av. Unfortunately, since the calendars are all mixed up and discombobulated now, and there's no true point of reference as to when the original 15th of Av happens to be, because of all the different calendars that are out there. And it seems as though on some calendars it's already passed, on some other calendars it's coming up, on some other calendars it's coming up later. But regardless of when it is or when it's not, we're to be aware of the seasons and times, the spiritual seasons and times. Like we know there is summer and there is springtime. There's springtime, summertime. There is the time of autumn and there's winter. So all of the seasons are important. All of the seasons matter, just like all lives matter. So no, regardless of what season you are in, it may not correlate with the natural season, but it's so good to be aware of it, that we allow our spiritual senses to be sharpened and heightened. And many love to talk about fasting and praying and fasting and praying and fasting and detoxing and all of that, and modifying the diet, and all of that is wonderful. It's good to do, cleansing and being purified, and all of that is wonderful. However, we don't have to starve ourselves and pray for 20 hours or all of that in order to be obedient. Obedience is mandatory, so we must be sure that we're being obedient, and every aspect of our lives matters. So before we come together with that kingdom spouse, for those of us who have not been connected or reconnected, it is so important that we are doing our part as the wife or the husband. And many have a Naomi who helps those who are coming into their marital settlement, and there's some that don't have a Naomi. Regardless, it still requires some work, some hard work for us to do to prepare. And the example is not always Queen Esther. It could be different than Queen Esther's story. All of our love stories are unique. All of our love stories will be different in some aspect. It won't be exactly like somebody else's, even though there will be some similarities. Many people are even talking about Cinderella lately, and that's interesting. However, I think there's some others that we could also talk about, like Aquila and Priscilla, Moshe. So you know Moshe as Moses, his parents, Ahavah, and I can't remember her husband's name. We could talk about Elisheva and her husband, who had Yohanan. Many know Yohanan as the baptizer. We could talk about so many different examples and illustrations. Maybe your parents is an example or illustration. Maybe you are. Share. Your story matters. Somebody wants to hear it. Somebody needs to hear it to give them encouragement right now. We need one another. We have to come together so that we can get it done. So we can be watchers on the wall, worshipers, and watchers and warriors and worshipers. And this is a continuous thing that we need to continuously be doing so the fire never goes out in our hearts, in our homes. We are to be ones who stand in the gap to make up the hedge to declare and decree for every nation, every tribe, and every tongue. Not just nations that we are in or that we like or whatever. It's for all of humanity. It's for all of humanity and all of creation. We are here for such a time as this to love above all else. Love is truly the key to everything. Love is the key to everything. And my name is Shifra Yahaved Yisrael. I'm here to bring something of priceless value and treasure to you, not to take anything away from you. So with all of that being said, I am going to close out. We're going to say a quick prayer together. We're going to declare and decree regarding kingdom marriages. But before we do that, we're going to actually say a word or two of gratitude to the Maker, the Creator of all, who has given us priceless, immeasurable gifts, which is love and life and light. The voice of truth, the true voice of truth, El Elyon, El Shaddai, Yairi, our provider, whatever name you use, El Shaddai, El Elyon, Adonai, Hashem, Jehovah, Yah, whatever it is, just be sure that you know the Maker as the Maker and that the Maker knows you as being a true friend, a loyal, obedient, faithful one. All of us have to do it. We have to be obedient and we have to be faithful. We cannot afford to go the wrong way. So we know that darkness, deception, disaster, destruction is not our portion. So we're going to speak life and life more abundantly to the four corners of the earth. And we say, woo, thank you, Avina Makina, our Father, our King. You call us friends. We are so grateful and thankful. Our hearts are overflowing with gratitude. We are consumed with praise. We are ecstatic. We're on the edge of our seats waiting for what is to come regarding your promises, your suddenlies, supernatural signs, wonders, miracles, acceleration, multiplication, blessings upon blessings, blessings multiplied, miracles multiplied. There is no limit to what you can do because you hold the power to do all things. You have all power and you are unshakable and unbreakable, and there is none who can stand before you. There is none greater. So we know that you have the ability and the power to disperse angels of all rankings and divisions, angels to be in our midst, to carry out the assignments you give to them. And you can send us divine connections and destiny helpers and Naomi's. And you can send us spiritual mothers and fathers to birth us, help birth us into that promise. Those spiritual birthings that come forth and bring forth natural birthings. Nothing is impossible with you. So we know that you are in our midst. And you are like a fire and a hammer that breaks rocks into pieces, because your love is a fire and it is unbreakable. It is unshakable. It cannot be moved. It cannot be shaken. We thank you for giving us something greater. Thank you for giving us true divine freedom and giving us your absolute truth so we don't have to believe lies. Thank you for saving us from all of these world systems and isms and schisms and religions and religiosity and traditions and legalism, all of this bondage. We're thankful that you have given us what we need to break the chains of bondage, to break the chains, to break off limitations and all limits, addictions, afflictions, lack, poverty, sickness, disease, infirmity, and so on and so forth. Woo! We know that you have given us love and joy and shalom. Sorrow is not our portion. You have taken us from dancing to screaming and jumping and shouting that our joy is unspeakable and our joy is overflowing. We thank you. And we are at just about at 30 minutes, so I am going to close out. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Please like. Keep the views going. Share, subscribe, and connect, please. And we will come together soon again, and we will talk more about these kingdom marriages and marriage covenants, and we will talk more about testimonies and exactly how this is a mighty supernatural move of the creator of all, the name above all names, Hashem. This is absolutely astronomical. How many women actually got married over the last 60 days? Incredible. And you're next. So hashtag I am next, or put in the comments I am next. Declare and decree that you are next if you desire to be so. But if you are already married, celebrate it. Celebrate being married, whether it's 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, however long it has been. Congratulations to each and every one of you. I celebrate each and every one of you. We are victorious. The victory is ours. Shalom.